On February 23rd, Anthropic dropped a single blog post. IBM that day lost 13% of its stock value. On the same day, CrowdStrike went down 11%, Thomson Reuters was down 18%, and LegalZoom was down 20%. $830 billion was wiped from the market in 6 trading days. $830 billion. Like, most people saw these headlines and they kind of just moved on. But you gotta pay attention to this. This has happened before. And every time it does, people who ignore it struggle. Some people lost everything, but the people who paid attention, those were the people who built what came next. Those were the people who genuinely won when change happened. There's a pattern that shows up every time a major technology disrupts an industry. It's played out for centuries, from the printing press to the telephone to the smartphone, and it's pretty dang consistent. And there are 4 signs, and they happen every single time. So let's dive into it. Sign number 1, a new technology emerges. It's kind of imperfect, it's weird, and the early versions are like kind of unimpressive. The internet when it first came out. But some people see it and they're like, ooh, what is this thing that's coming? Sign number 2, people in charge dismiss it. They say it's a novelty. Our customers don't want that thing. And sign number 3, they double down on what's already working. They say protect the core, stay the course. And by sign number 4, it's too late. The chance has been missed. The company is gone and the tides have turned. I'm going to show you this pattern in 3 companies that defined their industries, and then show you that it's happening right now with AI. The year is 1975 in Rochester, New York. An engineer by the name of Steve Sasson builds the world's first digital camera at Eastman Kodak. 8 pounds, 23 seconds to capture an image, and it's stored to a cassette tape. It's a brand new technology. It's very much imperfect, but it was real. He showed it to his management, and do you know what they told him? They said, don't tell anybody about this. Because Kodak's business was film. A camera that didn't need film? That was a threat. So they doubled down on film for 22 years while the technology kept improving elsewhere and competitors figured this thing out. In 1997, Kodak's CEO finally said, we are now out of denial. Too late. The stock had peaked at $94.75. It was worth 78 cents. $31 billion of value gone. They invented the thing that killed them. Success was the best camouflage for a threat they didn't want to see. But Steve Sasson saw it. He just wasn't the one making decisions. That was 1975. Here's February 2026. Anthropic launched a new legal workflow plugin for Claude. AI that handles document review, contract analysis, like the work that lawyers bill hundreds of dollars an hour. This is new technology, and it's actually giving real capabilities to people, not like the early stuff was kind of maybe sometimes working. It's actually working. That same week, Thomson Reuters dropped 18%, the single biggest loss in their history. LegalZoom was down 20%. I said this earlier, but $830 billion were erased in 6 days of trading. One analyst wrote this somewhat jarring statement. They said, my fear is that this is the canary in the coal mine for the labor market. Let that sink in for a moment. The canary's job in the coal mine was to make sure that the other laborers didn't die because there was some toxin in the air that they didn't know what it was. So the cute little canary would be breathing all the same air, and then all of a sudden the canary goes poop, and everybody knew it was time to get out. This analyst is on the point. This is big. Don't let this pass you up. Okay, the year's 1997 now, and this little DVD by mail company starts up. A little company called Netflix. In 2000, Netflix offered to sell to Blockbuster, the big old movie store rental company, for $50 million. And they literally laughed at them. Blockbuster couldn't let go of $800 million in late fees. They were making money on people not bringing their videos back. And that was the thing that they were protecting. They were so doubled down on stores, so doubled down on more locations, more late fees, because that's what they had known. And at its peak, Blockbuster had 9,094 stores. Today, there's one in Bend, Oregon, and it's largely a tourist attraction. Netflix is now worth roughly $300 billion. What's the thing that your company can't let go of? Because people who asked this question early were the ones who built what came next. That same refusal to let go of a revenue line, that's IBM right now. On February 23rd, Claude released a feature that modernizes COBOL. It's this really old programming language from 1959. Like 95% of ATM transactions on the planet still run on COBOL. This code is older than most people who are alive. IBM has made billions maintaining that code. Between consulting contracts, integration work, there's just this massive business built around the fact that this old code is hard to work with. It's kind of like Blockbuster's late fees, actually. It was like revenue built on difficulty and pain. Claude now can rewrite that code for pennies. The day that came out, IBM dropped 13.2% in a single day. And right now it's down 24% year to date. Sign 1, sign 2, we're watching sign 3 happen in real time. Now for Nokia, if you're over 30, you probably owned one of these things. They controlled 40% of the mobile phone market, 110 billion euros worth of money. Then Apple announced the iPhone. It's a niche luxury product. I don't know why I went all French there, but here's what makes Nokia worse than Kodak or Blockbuster. They tried to respond. They had an internal team building a product called MeeGo. It was a touchscreen operating system that could have been their answer to the iPhone. The engineers saw it coming, but the organization killed it. Politics, bureaucracy. They couldn't move fast enough. In 2013, they sold the entire mobile division to Microsoft for $7.2 billion. And the CEO reportedly said, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost." That's the scariest sentence in business. They didn't make one big mistake. They made 1,000 little ones. Well, I'm not making that mistake. That is exactly what each one of these CEOs thought. Nokia tried to respond and still lost. The cybersecurity companies didn't even get a chance. So now it's February 20th, and Anthropic launches Claude Code Security. Before the public launch, it had already found 500 vulnerabilities across real-world code bases. CrowdStrike, security company, dropped 11% in a single day. Datadog, Zscaler, Fortinet, the entire sector. The market wasn't saying these companies are bad at what they do. It was saying that what they do, AI can now do faster, cheaper, and at scale. One tool gets released and billions in value gets lost overnight. That should kind of scare us. That's this big, huge signal, this fire blazing thing in the sky that says, please pay attention. Now, before I go much further, I think it's safe to say that there's some of you, or maybe there's just some people, maybe not you, that are just thinking stocks move, they bounce back. And yeah, disruptions that played out over a decade, it could happen, they might bounce back. This is not moving at that speed. 3 years ago, AI couldn't reliably multiply 7 times 8. And 1 year later, it passed the bar exam. The year after, it was writing production software. Last year, senior software engineers started handing off their coding work entirely. And then this month happened. Meter, a research organization that measures AI capabilities, found that capability is doubling every 4 to 7 months. Not years, months. Dario Amodi, I'm probably saying it wrong. Sorry, Dario. He's the CEO of Anthropic. He said that 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs could be gone within 1 to 5 years. And many who study this think that that is conservative. It's already happening. If you're coming out of college right now, you are almost certainly feeling the crunch of getting a new job. But here's the thing about every disruption we've just tracked. There's this moment ahead of the big change where paying attention can change everything for you. We are in that moment right now, and it's not going to last long. January 2025, NVIDIA lost $600 billion in a single day, the largest single loss in American history. Now, NVIDIA recovered. A year later, it was worth more than it was before, but the signal was clear. 600 billion, 830 billion, 13% for IBM, 11% for CrowdStrike, 18% for Thomson Reuters. This is a pattern. The same pattern, faster and bigger than anything Kodak and Nokia ever triggered. When Nokia CEO said, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost," they were too late. Are you going to see the signs and move? Or are you going to say, my job is safe? Right now, real people in the world are saying, and I quote, straight from Reddit, AI is overhyped. My job requires human judgment. AI can't do what I do. I'll figure it out when I need to. That's freaking what Kodak said. Blockbuster said it. Nokia said it. And if you tried ChatGPT 2 years ago and you weren't impressed, you were right. 2 years ago in AI time, though, is ancient freaking history. What exists today is unrecognizable from what it was 2 years ago. And here's the part that I feel like nobody's talking about, because the fear gets all the headlines. You've already met the heroes of every story we just told. Steve Sasson, the man who built the first digital camera, he tried to tell Kodak what was coming. They wouldn't listen. The board shut it down. Nokia's MeeGo team, building the answer to the iPhone, killed by the organization around them. They saw it. They were right. The only difference between them and you is that you're not waiting for a board to say yes. I don't think you need to convince anyone, just yourself. I hope you see that this is not a theory. This is the future. The next video I'm going to do is we're going to go into 50 different concepts, 50 different roles that AI can play in your world, in your business right now. And while everyone else debates whether AI is real, you can use it. You can see the change that's coming and you can change your trajectory. This shift for you is not going to destroy everything, but it will destroy the people who refuse to move. It will destroy them. And I'm worried. We're tracking this. Every signal, every shift, every time AI reshapes an industry, we're breaking it down. What happened, what it means, and what you can do about it. If this opened your eyes at all, consider subscribing. We track the AI shift so that you don't get blindsided. Right now, there's probably someone in your life that's saying exactly what Kodak's CEO said, exactly what Nokia's CEO said. You've just watched this. They probably haven't. Kodak's engineers saw this coming in 1975. He just couldn't make anyone listen. Don't be the person who saw the signs and did nothing. Go kill it, Tiger.